good morning. It's day 16. It's the last day of the Camino. Hopefully, well, I say hopefully. That's my plan. It's just before 8 o'clock in the morning. The sun is just coming up, and it feels really quite chilly this morning. It's still going to get up near 80 later on, but you can definitely tell the weather's on the change here now. Well, my plan is to get to Santiago, but I've got to go across this road first. The Camino trail is on the other side, so this may take a while. As you can see, it's getting lighter, which I wish happened about 10 minutes ago when I was walking through a forest, tripping over tree roots, which I couldn't photograph or video because it was too dark. So, but sometimes it's nice to be in somewhere with a few street lights. Just come through a small town called Faramilan and back out into the country again. This is every time I've done this stage, I've got lost along here somewhere, so I'm keeping my eyes peeled. They have increased the arrows, so that's good, but they seem to be a bit further apart than they are in some of the other bits, but on course so far. Yeah, it's a chubby lad on a chubby horse, that's what it is. Yes. Well, I'm not sure what's going on there. Yeah, so this is another area where I think the Spanish authorities have changed the route slightly, made it easier, more way marking, but there can be a downside to that. I was staying when I was in the Alternativo hostel. The guy who owned that was saying that they changed the route by about 200 metres, and he was all right because he's now Berg, so people will go off the path to find a bed for the night. But there were two bars where pilgrims won't come far off of the Camino just for a cup of coffee or a beer. So because the route was changed by 200 metres, people just stopped going there and they had to shut down. So there's winners and losers. Yeah, so as I say, this is the last stage into Santiago, and I can't remember if there's any fierce climbs, but I do remember that there's like a slow and very steady climb, so it does, it's another good reason for dividing up the last stage, because it can get tiring. You know, you're not really pushing yourself, but just the fact that you're a slight uphill gradient all the time can really tire you out if you're not careful. Very nice bit of recycling there, an old tyre into a planter. Remember that. Yeah, so this bit here is almost identical to the bit I was doing badly in the dark when I first left this morning. So climbing up through a little forest with very uneven ground, so it's no wonder I nearly broke my neck. Back legs nearly went day. Once again we have the excitement of the threat of crazy Spanish drivers. Yeah, and this is an example of what I was saying about this slow, sort of steady climb. It's not all quite as steep as this, but generally there's a lot of it's just annoying, don't you think? Annoying incline. This is the town of Miandorio. We're on the way to Santiago now, so it's obviously a lot of building work going on. Modern city, I think, but Miandorio is also named for great traditional Spanish music group. Yeah, there's a little gravelly tribute to the Camino and the pilgrims. Well done. What the Camino here is, you know, that's where you've come from, and then boom, straight out into the country. Fantastic. 2 minutes from where I was before. I think they've constructed this to, I don't remember this little bit, but they've, so that you're soon out away from the urban areas and back out. So it's quite clever. Yeah, so I was just thinking about that. I said Spanish, they probably prefer to be referred to as Basque. Traditional music group, Neandorio, named after the city, I presume, rather than the other way around. And it seems to work quite well to me, but I don't know if it would work quite so well with bands from England, you know. A band called Stains, I don't know. Bracknell. No. Fackham. Oh, Fackham might work. Yeah. So I've not looked at one of these for a little while, but as you can see, 6.660 kilometers. 666, the number of the beast, but what the hell. I believe in the distance is Santiago, first sight I've had of it. Again, we're on one of these gravelly, rocky forest climbs. I seem to remember this one. I think there's a choice of routes at the top of this, and maybe even a kiosk that will give me a cup of coffee. Okay, so this is the start of what is a long haul into the centre of Santiago. I'm right on the outskirts now. I still think it's about a couple of miles to where I need to get, but this is really the last stretch there. Now, what has surprised me is I thought it'd be very busy, but over the last couple of miles, well, I can't see any pilgrims in front of me at the moment, so hasn't been that way since probably Portugal. So right, so I just press on. And this is the bit I do remember, this long, straight, slow climb into the centre of Santiago. Santiago, big city, has all the comforts of home, or probably not. I think there is a kebab shop up here, so that's one of the comforts I've missed. Santiago tiles, very nice. There we are, the kebabs, and it's blinking shut. There's a couple of pilgrims, and we're just entering the old part of the city now, and not far at all from the cathedral, which is the official end. And here we are, the old city. Here's where all the pilgrims are. As you can see, they're everywhere. Remember, this is the final point for all the Caminos. Spanish, French, all the other ones I can't remember. So I'm heading down to the cathedral now to get my final shots for the videos. And here we are. Look at that, baby. And there are guides of every language and nationality showing little groups of people around. I'm just going to go and get myself a selfie if I can with the cathedral behind me. So here I am, Santiago, 16 days walking. I could have done it in less, but by taking slightly longer, I've arrived with no major pains or aches or blisters. And overall, it's been pretty damn good. There was a few days earlier on where I thought, why the hell am I doing this? But actually, it's actually got easier. Get into a routine, legs get stronger. You adjust your pack so it doesn't dig into you. So, if you're thinking of doing the Camino, stop thinking, just do it. There's all different ways, there's all different parts you can start from to make it easier. And if you want any pointers or any ideas about what you could do or how you could do it, just get in touch. I'll see you later. Now I've had a chance to catch my breath and sort myself out. I just thought I'd explain about what happens or what potentially you can do when you get to the cathedral in Santiago. If you take your credential, as you see here in mine, got all the stamps on it now, and as long as you've got 2 stamps per day from TUI, I think that's the last 100 kilometres, something like that anyway, then you can go to the Camino office at the cathedral and get a very nice certificate. I've seen them, I haven't got one myself, I haven't really bothered, but a lot of people do, most people do I think, so that's where your credential finally comes into its own, apart from getting you accommodation on the way. So that's it, I'm back now, back in Porto. I caught the bus. It's a 4-hour bus trip back to Porto, back on the plane tomorrow. There we are.